Hello Linux lovers, my name's Wimpy, welcome to my world. So I'm going to be continuing from where I left off the other evening, where I was packaging up some new plugins for OBS Studio on NixOS and also fixing some things with plugins for NixOS. I'm going to do a quick recap on cleaning up from where I got to. Because at the end of the stream I'd got a couple of things which weren't quite fixed up, and I've figured that out since, so I thought I'd look at that. Hello Proton Beamed, good morning, how are you? So I'm pretty happy with where things are at the moment. I've got a couple of tweaks to OBS Self I'm going to make, where I'm going to borrow some proposed changes in Nix packages that I like the look of. Hello King Egypt, how are you? Haven't seen you for a good long while. I'm gonna try and make it to State of Open again this year. Did I mention that to you recently? Because I saw you there last year, of course. You gonna try and go again this year? I do believe Popey has applied to volunteer at the event, and I need to see if I can help with NixOS again on their booth. Right, so I'm not going to beat about the bush too much. We're gonna, yeah, you'll be there. Okay, great. Well, I look forward to seeing you again then, King Egypt. So let's go and make a start on all of this. So where did I get to? Last time I was going through some packages, and there were two that in fact the best way to visualize this is to look here. So there were two that there's a feature that's been introduced into upstream OBS Studio where compiler warnings are raised as errors, and I think this is in an effort to sort of clean up the code. Which is all well and good, except there are some plugins which have compiler warnings, and because they borrow from, they have to, use the OBS Studio base code, that now means that can create a problem in that they don't, technically they will fail. So this was one of them, which I was reading about, and the author is aware. They have one compiler warning, and they're looking to fix it. And this one, I'd already got a workaround in my build for Ubuntu that did this. I just wasn't calling this. It was this turned out to be the fix. I hadn't called it completely. I'd assumed that because I was calling this CMake flags, that this prefix will have been included, and it wasn't. So once I'd figured that out, and this plugin then built, which is good because I use it a lot now, I was able to apply the same sort of fix here, where this plugin has lots of compiler warnings, and in the OBS build for Ubuntu that I maintain, I'd got lots of discrete ignore these compiler warnings, and because there were so many of them, I've just decided to pass this, which was something that Rob Loach suggested during the last stream. And if you invoke it in the right way, now I'd learned what I was missing, that works correctly. It also required these options here to sort of coerce the build system to explicitly use Qt6, which is now the default. So with those fixes, with those build options in place, this newer version of this plugin builds and works as well, which is terrific because I'm multi-streaming at the moment. So this stream goes to Twitch and YouTube. Hello to those of you on YouTube, by the way. I saw Graham, hello Graham Arthur, was wanted to try and play the drop game via YouTube. Unfortunately, that's not a thing. So this will mean that I can then at some point move my configuration from the Ubuntu container to a native NixOS OBS Studio, and it should all work swimmingly. But there are still other plugins that I'm using that I haven't accounted for yet. So I need to get on that. And what I've done is I've lined up some things in my tabs here. So first of all, I want to make a few changes to OBS. This one I'm not sure about. I can't decide if I want to... In fact, let's see, is there any comments? So 2 weeks ago, this was being requested gets rebased. It looks like they did it. So what was this attempting to fix? It's obviously not an issue I'm encountering, but I seem to remember this was passing down some build options more precisely. And actually, what I'm interested in this is I've noticed that in the OBS build in the OBS build for NixOS, ALSA is currently enabled, and I think it should be off. At least I build the ALSA part with off because you can capture audio from Pulse Audio and from Pipewire, and the Pipewire implementation effectively uses either the Pulse socket or jack, depending on how you've configured the audio device. So I think this looks right, but I imagine this would work. Yeah, okay. It's expanding support to Arch at ARM64. I'm not sure about this. I think I might wait and see if this lands in the upstream project. I think I do want to do this though. I'll just check my Ubuntu build. So King Egypt says in chat, so this NixFad is sticking then. Yeah, well, you know. Well, got the t-shirt and everything. I'm really enjoying it. The more I learn, the more I love it. And the more I learn, the more I find myself in a position I can't contemplate ever using anything else. It's not perfect, but it's improving every day. And some of the improvement every day is the more I learn and the more competent I get, the better the experience. Right. I'm just going to go and check how I handle ALSA in my build. Yeah, I turn it off. So I'm going to do that. This is really to simplify things. Capturing it directly from ALSA doesn't make sense in a Pipewire world, in my opinion. So let's I'm switching tabs and I don't need to. Right, let's go here, and don't think I have the default open. I don't. So where are we going? We're going to the local packages for OBS Studio and the OBS Studio build, and we'll find where these options. Yeah, let's just go and look at what that was doing again. So it hasn't ALSA support. So this is a way to define. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone at the moment. We will just change this one, add ALSA. There we go. So that, I think, is what I'm going to stick with for now. And that will do for that. So I think if we do this, we can actually test this right. Let's run OBS multi. So this is running OBS from the NixOS host, which is opened all the way over here. So I would just drag this down here. Here we go. Oh. Yeah, okay. I just wondered what I was looking at then. I've just realized. Okay. So this is a novel feature of my video capture card. It can do multiple instances, which is just took me by surprise for a moment there. So you can see here, here's that multi-streaming plugin I mentioned earlier. Let's maybe move to something not so confusing. Oh, it's fine. Why did I come here? But oh yes, the ALSA stuff. So if we look in the audio interfaces here, we could try and add an audio interface in here, and it's got ALSA capture. And you know, when we've got the Pipewire and Pulse audio options here, where Pipewire can be jack or a Pulse socket behind it, I don't think this is necessary. It just clutters things up a bit. So we're going to exit that so that we can take that change. We'll test it, and we'll drop in here, and we'll do a Nix build. We'll limit the cores to 16 so that we don't trample everything, and we'll build. We need to just switch into the Nix config directory. So we're going to build OBS Studio from that Nix package with that ALSA change, which will take a little while. So I'm now just looking to see if this squishes things. Hello, Lucy. Good morning. How are you? I assume you are back from that there Denmark. Are you back home? Right, so this is kicking along. One thing I do like about working on OBS Studio in NixOS is the Ubuntu build that I make has this massive collection of plugins and OBS, and I have to build OBS twice and then compile all of the plugins, and the turnaround cycle's quite slow. But working on NixOS, once I've got a build for OBS, I can iterate on the plugins discreetly, and I really quite like that. Got home last night. Wow, that was quite the break you had over there then. Wonderful. How long was that? It was about 3 weeks maybe? Glad you're home. I've still got that bag of stuff here. It's right here. Right, let's let that finish up. So I think, yeah, so that was 4 weeks. Very nice too. Right then, so this was something that we encountered last time on the last stream. I didn't know I could constrain the number of cores in a local build, which I've now learned how to do, so this doesn't crush my system completely. I can just move down to 1/4 of the available cores and let the OBS do its thing. So now that's built, I should be able to run this, because this isn't installed, this is just a build. So we'll run this build of OBS, we'll launch it anyway. So this is complaining because it's detected I've got this other OBS instance running. And here we go. This is a naked OBS. So the reason this looks different to what you saw last time is the OBS I ran from my host install is a closure that includes all of the plugins, but this is just a vanilla build of OBS. But if I add here, you can see the only options are Pulse Audio, and that's because, again, the Pipewire plugin is not part of this this test build that I did. And I'm seeing the right thing here. I'm not seeing ALSA in the list of input options there. So that is all correct, and we'll take that change. So let's get that little change committed. Is this a fix or a chore? I think it's a refactor, really. Disable ALSA capture. Let's commit that. Put in my super secret password. Okay, that's that bit done. Let's move on and look at the next thing I was thinking of doing. So, we'll just close that tab. And this one's is interesting. So, there's an alternative implementation of the AAC codec from Fraunhofer or whatever it's called. And I enable that in my builds like so. In fact, you probably saw it just in the last change that I did. But this makes it an option and also adjusts the licensing. And I kind of like that. I could see this totally getting merged upstream. So I'm going to borrow this change. So it looks like I need to add some lines. So let's just copy and paste our way through this. So pipe wire. Okay. Studemvis Linux. Yeah, okay. So this is because it assumes it can build against Darwin. Is that right? I don't see Darwin in here. Okay. Never mind it. I guess at some point it would be possible to build it. Right then. Let's take that. What have I just seen pop up over here? I don't know. So, well done, Lucy. Right then. Let's just take a quick look there. Okay, that's fine. Right then. One line at a time then. Oops, we're in the wrong. Let's take that and drop that in the OBS default, which was up here. So I think that was sitting in amongst the pipe wire stuff up here, wasn't it? Interesting. So this is different. Oh no, here it is. So where's the FDK stuff? Is that up here somewhere? There it is. So I think that needs removing when I look at this. Oh no, it needs including but then excluding from the build inputs, because then it becomes an option. Okay, that makes sense. So where? Let's go and look at the file. Might be easier. Okay, there we go. That's where they've decided to incorporate that. So it's odd, but all right. I think I might. Well, I'll put it where they have for the time being. It seems like a curious place to put such a thing. And then down here, we want to. You can see I've probably already changed to FFmpeg 5. There's a bigger job there where I think what we'll have a go at doing is building a discrete version of FFmpeg specifically for OBS on NixOS. Hello, RJ. Hello, welcome back. Good to see you again as well. Hello, Soy TV. Good. I see you use Chromium. How are you dealing with sync between devices, if at all? So I only use Chromium when I stream. That is the browser that I use when I live stream, and that is all it's used for. So I don't sync to anything else. But my main browser is Brave. And I use that on my phones and my tablets and desktops. And I use the built-in syncing built into Brave to handle tabs and other stuff, configuration, plugins, extensions, all of that stuff. Right, we want this here. Optional. So optionals, that's correct. Yeah, okay. Let's drop this in down here somewhere. There it is. Do that. So, what else are we missing? Now the license change, I think, is the other thing. So let's take that and drop that into the license area. I also need to do some work on Ceph for this build as well. Hello, Tackle. How are you? Right, let's just go and take a look at the diff on this. So the build inputs, we need to remove FDK AAC just from the build inputs because that's now expressed as an option. And is it an option that is enabled by default? It is. Okay, good. Decklink is false. That's interesting. We should probably do the same with this AJA stuff as well, because I don't have any AGA devices. So making that a configurable thing. These options, it's a little bit like if you've used Gen 2, what do they have the use clause. It's a bit like that. It's a simple way to sort of craft some enable disable capability in the package, you know, based on preferences. So I just wanted to implement this because I've never done this before and I wanted to get familiar with the process. So post unpack. That seems... I think this is brittle. This will work in its default configuration. But I think if you were to enable, put all these changes in as I am doing now, and then elect to not enable FDK, the build would fail when it finds this, because it knows it's being asked to enable FDK without the library being present. So that's curious. I don't know enough about how that system works. I may have to investigate that and look into it. So this is going to be fine for my default use case, I think. And if we go and look at my Git Kraken now, whoops, I've gone all the way by it. This should look somewhat similar. So we've got add that, drop the semicolon off this line, obviously, because we've now got it added in there. And then if we go and look here, They didn't have, so I already had this line. I'd added it manually. So I think that's the same patch. So let's go and build OBS again. Very good, King Egypt. Right then, let's go and build that. And how will we know if this has worked?
Thank you for the follow, Pengut44.
Oh, hello. That was interesting. Oh, there we go. It's all burst into life. Hey, Pengut, thank you very much for the follow. Looks like the API's got a little bit out of whack there. Right then, let's give this another build. We'll probably just hold it up after it's done the configure stage, and we'll go and have a look at this. So let's, whoa, hello. It didn't like that. Okay. So this is, I think this is exactly what I said might happen, although I've a bit confused as to why this has happened now, because I thought it was enabling FDK by default. So how do I choose to enable this? Let's go back to the ticket here. How do you build this and keep the... So it doesn't actually tell me, it assumes I know how to do this, which I don't. So I discovered the flag was not enabled since the library was included in the closure. I assume that there was some intent to include it. Licensing, yeah, this is why I was interested in doing this. Add an option for people to disable it should they choose to. They also added the library license. Okay, but why now doesn't it build at all? Because I thought that was enabled now. So how do I pass that option? Let's just go and take another look here. This might have to be an exercise for another time. Hey, Pengu, how you doing? When... Okay. Oh, because we've removed it here. Okay, so how do I... I don't actually know. Let's see if we can figure it out. Although, I'm making life difficult for myself here because I do want it enabled. Let's see if we... not a shell. We don't want to do it with a shell. No, I'm not sure that's giving me what I want. Nope, that's not what we're interested in either. Is it this? Ah, here we go. What's this? Extra flags. Okay, I think I'm running before I can walk here a little bit. I don't understand why that is not working. with FDK. Okay, let's try this. I've got an idea. Let's go. Let's close that. Let's go and grab their code, their branch, and see if I can build it. Because maybe it's not me. Maybe. What am I doing? So Pengu, I am working on updating some plugins for OBS Studio on NixOS, and also adding some new build options to NixOS. I'm doing that in a local set of Nix packages, and once that work is done locally and I'm satisfied it's working correctly, I will then be creating some pull requests to make those changes in the upstream Nix packages repository. But what I was just doing there is I'm exploring a new to me, something I haven't learned about optional arguments on a package, and it doesn't appear to be working. So now what I'm going to do is figure out if it's my mistake, or do I even care at this point? I'm going to investigate a whole bunch of stuff and end at the same outcome. I think as I'm going to have to download Nix packages and do a build, I'm going to park this and I'll do it offline and figure it out, because it isn't actually going to help me, and I've got more higher priority plugin stuff I need to do. So I think what we'll do is we will go here. All of this is FDK related. We will just discard those changes and move on our merry way. We'll keep that there. I've got that in my notes. Yes, I do have that in my notes. Drop you from there. Let's get on with the more important tasks. So, that was where we just opened. We don't need that. This I'm going to do as an overlay, because there's a whole bunch of bug fixes here, and that seems like a good thing to do. So we're going to just... Ooh. The Darwin patch is different. So maybe we don't... yeah. Let's think about this. We don't need that, do we? Because we're never going to build this on Darwin at the moment. Okay. Okay. So let's go and grab that. We'll just grab the hash. No. Yep, Nix is good stuff. Hello, Gamlink, how you doing? I need help about C++. I don't know any C++ related Discord channels. I don't do a huge amount in C these days, or C++. Yeah, you can have a lot of fun with OBS. This is coming... I'm streaming from an OBS and an OCI container, and this is so I can have my streaming environment isolated from the thing that I'm working on, which is the host install. Right. What was I going to do? I was just about to rev the Librist stuff, which is an overlay, and I've already got that open. So let's go and grab one of these. This one will do, probably. So we'll now just go and grab all of this stuff. So Let's grab all 3 lines from there, and then we can just drop that out. So that's the old version. This is the new version. And then we'll grab all of that. Whip. Drop that over here. Source, that's like so, isn't it? Let's do that. And which was the new one? Bottom. Okay, let's try that, and let's go and build just librist, right? So let's just hang on a minute. Yes, that's not oh, hang on. Let's do build host. Undefined variable get from GitLab. It doesn't know that. Huh. Well, there's curious. What did I just do then? Hello? Why did the chat go away then? Let's do this. I don't know quite how I managed that, but let's there. Oh, I see, because I'd put my cursor in the wrong place. Okay. Well, this isn't going at all well. Why on earth is that not available? I killed you? What do you mean? Well, that... Oh, I think I know why this is, actually. Don't I have to do... Yes, here we go. This is why. We have to take it from the previous... There we go. That should... Whoops. That should solve it. Okay. Let's try that again. Build the host. Yes. Build the host. Okay. So hopefully that should run to completion. Yeah, the chat went away. Yeah, I've got a thing here. So if I, you can see my cursor moving around. If I move my cursor into where the chat is, it does a dodge. It hides it. And then it comes back. And I'd accidentally left my mouse cursor here. So it was permanently hidden. Okay, why did that now fail? That's a new... failed to build. Why? Well, this is not a great start. So what's wrong with that? System path. Dependencies of a derivation. Yeah, okay. Well, let's see if this... Oh, it is this that's unhappy. I wonder... Oh, I think I know what the problem might be. I bet this is because that patch will be applied regardless of the... Oh, goodness, come on. Let's actually copy and paste. Yeah, okay. I don't want to pull it. Yeah, so the issue here is that there is a patch in the upstream which has changed. So I could do this as a whole package. Do I want to take on maintaining a whole package locally? I'm not sure I do. We could change it to not do the patching, maybe. Yeah, so this patch, although it's in order to ensure it builds on Darwin, it's a patch that's being applied to the source regardless of what host operating system, host platform you're building for. I don't want to do that. I don't want to take the whole package, I don't think. Let's go and look at this view file. I wonder if I can do this. Let's take that. Go here. And do this. Dirty hack. I'm certain this is... Oh, actually, thinking about it. Let's try this to start with. I am firmly in I'm making it up as I go along territory here now. But let's try that. Why does that patch break the build? Because it's not applying. So the librist has been revved and the patch has been refactored for the new version of librist. And I haven't brought in that patch in this overlay. So what I'm doing at the moment is at least what I'm hoping this will do is exclude the patch entirely in my local overlay. So let's just try that out. And if it works, then maybe what I can do is bring that patch down and locally, and it still work. But I've never done that before, so again, no, it didn't like it. I don't really want to bring a whole package in. It's not that important. Oh, this would help. That will also help fix it. Let's see if we can do a build on it. No. Let's see if this goes. The multitude of typos is strong. Let's see if that helps. Okay, there we go. So that's going to trigger a rebuild of OBS because it's a dependent package and this is how purity is maintained. So this is good. So the next question is, can I do this? Can I go and grab this patch? In fact, let's make sure I'm grabbing the right patch. Let's do view file. And raw. Just let that build. Run. Yeah, although the patch has changed, Lucy, but I will try what you're suggesting just for giggles. But I suspect what we want to do is pull the patch down and change this accordingly. Because at the moment, all an overlay does is use the packaging from the upstream version with some changes. So I think it's going to not work, but we'll try it. I can hear the system is struggling. Oh, it's rebuilding all the plugins. Oh, golly gosh. Everything that uses librist is going to get rebuilt. Yawn. Okay, yeah. That's what happens when I overcook the system. I forgot to... yeah. So this is... this is something, a change I want to make to my Nix configuration that I was researching the other evening. I want to create a NixOS module for my own configuration that basically calculates what half the CPU cores are for the machine it's on, and then sets up the environment called Nix build cores, so that every time I compile something, it uses a constrained number of cores. I was working around this by passing -- cores to my local package builds, but that doesn't get inherited for full system rebuilds. Yeah, no, it was me. I feed back through the earbuds here the mix that I stream out, so I hear all the mistakes you hear. And that's the reason I do it like this, is that the mix that I hear should be the same as the one that you hear, which is why I can tell when things aren't right. For example, like sometimes when I capture from VMs and they start up and you get the startup chime and it's absolutely deafening. I know I've just deafened all of you as well, so that's how I know to apologize. Right, let's see how this goes. Okay, so that worked. That rebuilt. So we've now made the change to exclude or to comment out that patches override. So we should be able to do this again, and it will use that change, and we'll see if it works. My feeling is it should fail to compile, because there we go, because and we should, if we look at the log here, the patch that it's using is from the upstream packaging, which is a mismatch. Here we go. Hunk failed. So I think if we were to do this and copy that, and wget that big old path and output it to overlays, Darwin .patch. I don't quite know how you tell overlays what patch to use, but maybe we can get away with that. Let's look at the original. How is this reference? Just Darwin.patch. Maybe that'll work. Maybe that will work, or maybe I have to give it some more to go on. But let's try it. Let's see if that works. No, I don't think so. Not in quotes, no. No such file. So, for reasons, it didn't find that. Hello, Rage DC. How you doing? Getting the state. Ah, I know why. We need to do that. Let's try again. See if that works now. Come on, you know you want to work. There we go. I think that did it. So this is going to screw everyone's audio up again, so brace for impact. Right then, so we've learned something there, or I've just learned something. I've learned how to bring patching from, here we go, there's the audio going now. It's working hard, compiling. So I'm happy with that. We know that's going to work, so we're going to take that whole thing and stick that in with GitKraken. So let's do that and say it's a feature update librist overlay to, in fact it's not update, it's add librist overlay librist. What was it? 0.2.10 to the overlay. Doink. That's good. Let's push that up to the branch whilst we're here. Okay. This was entirely oh gosh, the compiler is really killing the machine. You'd think Threadrippers would cope with this better, really, wouldn't you? Let's do this. How bad is this?
Thank you for the follow, GhostMonk000.
Thank you for the follow. We just catching this at the end of the build here. There we can see that compiler, but well, for reasons, it makes his computer groan. Threadripper, it rips your threads so much your audio gets ripped. Yeah, like I say, I've got a fix for this. Or rather, I know what I want to add in order to prevent this from happening. So that'll be good. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I've got enough cores in all the machines that I can just constrain builds to fewer cores, which is fine, because when I do this kind of build and I'm just not streaming, it still interferes with my music playback anyway, so that bothers me. Yeah, I just keep a few cores hanging around that aren't going to get flooded with build jobs. Okay, well that's good. I'm happy about that. That suggests to me that I can move a few more of my local packages to overlays now. I know just how... I know that with an overlay you can basically change everything. The point is you change as few things as possible. Right, that's good. Let's head back to here. We've done the librist thing, so let's close that. This plugin I'm going to come back to because I don't use it. But they're obviously waiting for feedback and review. And I thought if I was to build this locally and test it, but it's complicated. This is one of these things that what they called speedrunners use to do like live input overlays to show that they're not cheating, that, you know, it's actually them controlling things. Hello, Exeldro. It's good that you're here. I'm going to be, in fact, here's the tab here. I'm going to get to one of your things in a minute. And so I don't have a controller plugged in at the moment. So actually testing this one is going to be a bit of a faff. So I'll come back to that. I'm going to move on to here. And I think I might be banjaxed with this one as well, because I've got a feeling there's a newer version of libjpeg required. Depends on this one, which is here. And I thought, no problem, I will just add both of these to the overlay. And as I read through the rest of this, it turns out that this is got a breaking ABI change. So if I do this, make this change, it will then break a whole bunch of other packages that need to be revved as well. Rather, the upstream packages need to be refactored to work with the newer version of the library. So having read that earlier, I think I'm going to just pass on making this change at the moment. Oh, actually, what I thought was, I wonder if it builds and works without. But again, I can't test this on a live stream, because this uses tons of bandwidth. So I think I'm just going to leave this one as I'll test this locally. But we will get to a new plugin, a plugin that I'm using in this container of OBS that I'm using to stream with, but is not packaged for Nix. So let's get on and do that. So this is a rather cool little thing that adds a pixel, like 8-bit type shader to sources, and I've been using that for those of you who know what 8-bit verses are. I've been tinkering with some stuff for 8-bit verses. So with that, let's go and give this a go. Let's just go to the top level releases here. There's no V in the version numbers. So let's just remind myself, was there anything in the dependencies that we need to account for? I don't think it is. I think it's, yeah, all very familiar. Looks like standard template in actual fact. Right, okay, what shall we go with? I think we'll base this on one of my plugins actually, because I've got a couple of plugins now. So then, let's think about this. We need to make a directory in packages, OBS Studio plugins. I've already forgotten what it's called. It's called Pixel Art. We'll copy one of my plugin package definitions over there. OBS, which one? DVD screensaver should do it. Oh, actually, I've done that wrong, haven't I? Okay, let's do OBS Studio plugins pixelart.nix. Let's get rid of that directory. We don't need that. I really need to change my live stream terminal. This one's terrible. Okay, and we will, let's drop in here. So hey Takov, what's this now? Is this going to be part of OBS fully loaded or mainstream for now? I'm not quite sure what you mean, Takov. So these are Nix packages. So I'm using the Ubuntu container to do the streaming now. What I'm working on is getting all of the plugins that I'm currently using for my setup into Nix packages. Yeah, so the plugins I'm building, I'm getting into my local Nix packages because I can build and test and iterate on that quite quickly. And once I've got these local builds all going, in fact, hopefully on this stream, I'm then going to start filing pull requests against the upstream Nix packages to land the various fixes and new plugins that I've been packaging. And then that will enable anyone on NixOS to effectively create their own fully loaded. I think I showed this the other day, where let's think. I need to open yeah, OBS Studio. Here we go. So this is my OBS Studio configuration for NixOS, and it basically says, look, make a closure that includes OBS Studio and these plugins. So this is well, everything that I use that I've currently got packaged locally, and when this is, you know, complete, I can start pushing upstream. But hello Marcin, thank you very much for the follow. It will mean that anyone can create something like this, which is just a composition of the plugins that they want. Does that make sense? Oh, hello. Interesting. I noticed something has burst into life. I'm just going to go into studio mode and deal with something. I've noticed that I've left a source enabled that is only half working at the moment. Not my bug, somebody else's bug. Where do we go for this? Here. Let's just turn you off. There we go. Come back here and turn off the studio mode. There we go. Right.
For the resub, King Egypt.
Oh, hey King Egypt. Thank you very much for the resub. I appreciate that. OBS WebSocket still as a plugin, Exeldro says. Sort of. Yeah, keen eyes you've got there, Exeldro. Let me just bring that up again so I can explain what that is. So this OBS WebSocket is actually the 4.91 compat version. So obviously OBS Studio 28 and onwards has got the WebSocket 5 built in. I packaged the WebSocket 4 compat version because I use to program my Stream Deck on Linux. I use OBS WebSocket clients to do things, and they haven't been uplifted to WebSocket 5 yet. So that is there for making legacy stuff continue to work. But I want to get rid. I've only got one thing that's still using the old WebSocket 4, and I was investigating some other options in terms of writing my own, because I only need it for just switching a few scenes, and there's one other thing in it. Yeah, it's all just toggling source visibility, which then handles the automation on the back end. Buy yourself some new cores. I'm actually about to rebuild a PC because the one in the other office is completely kaput. So I've ordered a motherboard, and I think I've got everything else I need in order to rebuild from existing components a replacement machine for the office, which I'll probably do over the weekend. Right, okay. I've talked myself into confusion. What we were doing, we were working on getting a new plugin going. Yeah, that particular thing, I've just done dealing with it. I'm going to... Yeah, I might do King Egypt. I have done in the past. The thing is that I can't do it from the other office because that's the machine I'm going to be replacing. So I'll have to do it here, so maybe we'll see if I can get things set up. Right, let's open the pixel art thing. So this is basically my plugin, and I think this one was just called Pixel Art. There was no OBS, was there? Yeah, Pixel Art. We'll look in the releases, and yeah, just Pixel Art and 004. So let's go through this, and just gonna make everyone seasick as my things jump around. Let's just take those two things there. So we'll drop the hash because it can recalculate that. And I think we may need to provide some build inputs to this as well. So some CMake flags, in fact. Oh, hello. That's in what I wanted. I will leave my name in there as a maintainer. Exeldro, are you still here? If you are, can I make a request? Just thinking about it. Sometimes, hey, good, excellent. Sometimes when you release new plugins, you tag them, and sometimes you don't. And not having tags available for packaging on Linux is a total pain in the ass. So for example, I forget what the version is. Here we go, we can find out. We'll go and look here. Oh, that's a bad example. It is 0.14. Okay, I thought there was a newer version. Okay. Sometimes I go to, you know, package your stuff, and there's like a tag for a release, and it's the old release. You've made a new release here, but there's no tagged release in GitHub. So, pretty please. If you could tag all your stuff, it would be super helpful for packaging. Try to tag. All right, okay. Could I do that? Just filing an issue to say, please, could you retag this one? Is that acceptable? Anyway, that it's just something. It is a pain. Yeah. Okay. I will do that. I have a list. In fact, I know which ones I need to do, because the build that I do here, you can see here where I've got commit hashes rather than versions. Some of these are because I actually want a fix that you've already pushed into the tip of Git that I'm grabbing, or it's a newer version and you have to grab a commit because there's no tag. So I'll go through these and figure out which ones are relevant for a tagged release, and I'll file a collection of issues on those. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate that. Right then, where were we? We were doing this, and I think this is probably going to fail because I think I'm going to need to pass. Come on, brain. Oh, that was it. We're just going to go and grab the description from the upstream project. Let's go and do that. How do they describe it? Like so. Right then. So if we add that to Git, then the flake can see it. Let's do Nix build of that. We'll drop the cores down. And this was just called pixel art. Let's see how far we get with this. Does not provide attribute. Ah, of course it doesn't. Yes. Default, I think, is no. OBS Studio plugins default. We need to actually add it here as well. OP. So this is going to be pixel art and pixel art. Right, let's see how we go. So first thing we're going to have to do is update the hash so that it knows it's legit. Ah. Okay. See what we get. Well, that was surprisingly quick. Okay. Let's take a look and see if that looks like everything's in the right path. It does look like everything's in the right path. So if I go to my, we were just looking at this here. If I now add pixel art to my local config, I should be able to do a build host. So effectively rebuild the entire OS, which should only pull in the pixel art plugin. And then I should be able to switch that in. So that's basically an atomic upgrade of the whole operating system. And then run that OBS and use that filter and demonstrate that it works. He says, we're all without crashing OBS. That's the real trick, or at least this instance of OBS. So let's run. That's just a build. We need to switch it, don't we? So host switch. Okay, here we go. Entire operating system upgrade. Not at all scary. There we go. So we can see a couple of things there. We can see that we've pulled in that upgrade to librist that we did earlier. And we've now got the pixel art plugin added. So if we now run OBS from the host, here we are. Let's think. I should be able to apply a filter here. Pixel art, boink. Number of downscales. There we go. One pixel art plugin working just fine. Success. I think we'll turn that off, otherwise when I speak to my colleagues later they're going to be very confused. In fact I'll just bin it. We've proven it works. It's good. Close. Exit that. Right, there we go. That's great success. Let's go and push that into the repo. I've done it again. There we go. Right, so pixel art, and oh yeah, because we'd already added the file. Yeah, okay, so it's a feature, add pixel art 004. Commit changes. Let's push that branch, make sure we're all up to date. Okay, That's good. Next is another plugin. So we'll close this tab down. We've dealt with that. So now I'm confused why it is I've got on my list I wanted to update this. Why did I feel I needed this? 420. It may have been for that. Maybe I'm building from this version here. Let's go and take a look. So we don't need pixel art there. In my list of plugins, source copy, no, not source copy, source clone. So I'm building from 87, which is current version. Okay. Don't know why. I should probably add some notes as to why it is I choose to cherry pick. Because that other build is for Ubuntu, so maybe I needed that. Oh, I will have done. I will have needed it for the Ubuntu build. Okay, I'm just going to assume everything's fine there for the moment. How can I prove this works? Let's do this. I don't know why the fonts are screwy. I'll have to investigate that at some point. Let's take virtual camera, DETSYS, doesn't have audio, make it active, no buffer. Okay, and now I should be able to apply my filter here and not. Okay. So that's working, and if I go back here, this should be unfiltered. It's just fine, doesn't it? Okay. Right, nothing to do here is what I've learned. Right then. Let's go and get rid of that then. We'll not do any work there because we've got the current version in the package. So this is the next one that I'm definitely using. And this is an in development. Oh, nice one. Thank you, Exeldro. That's awesome. Which plugins was that? Because I will go and tinker with them. If you can just let me know the plugin names, I'll go and deal with that now. So Exeldro, who makes most of the plugins that I use, I sponsor on GitHub, and also Finite Singularity is producing a whole bunch of high quality plugins, and I sponsor them as well. And they've got a new one on the go that I thought I would get packaged up now so I can start testing it, and then when it's finally released I will have a package ready to go. But this is the next one I want to have a go at, and this one is going to be fraught with complication, I think. Because I think there's something about this that is going to cause me pain and misery. Oh no, I can use system curl. Okay. Oh! Hello, Devil Bean. You bought a Bluetooth transmitter based on one of my reviews. What, on Amazon? Nix, in this economy. Oh, amazing. Oh, well, good. So that would have been one of the the low latency Bluetooth transmitters. Well, I'm glad that was helpful.
Thank you for the follow, Microdot Factory.
Hello, Microdot Factory. If anyone else is looking for hardware recommendations, there's my kit list. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there, including the Bluetooth transmitters that Devilbean was just referring to. Wonderful. Okay, there you go. I'm glad that was helpful. That's good to know. Right then, let's have a go at this one and see if we can get the system packages pulled in. Let's see. In fact, I believe I added the system package support for in this plugin. So let's hope it will. It worked on Ubuntu at least. So let's see if it works on NixOS. What is this one called? It's OBS URL source. So let's go. We are going to copy plugins OBS background filter because it's from the same author. To packages. What, no Pi 5? No, I think when I put that list together, the Pi 5 hadn't been released, and it's one of the things I need to do. What sort of retro gaming devices do I create? Mostly on the Raspberry Pi. The Raspberry Pi using things like this. Oh, that's entirely the wrong screen to do this with. So stuff like this. If I cover my face, it will zoom in. So all these custom cases that you can get and create the hardware support for the different cases and what have you. But then more recently, I haven't made my own operating system images for these things yet, but in fact this box is empty. My daughter has got the gaming device, but these sort of, you know, retro handheld ready to go devices, I've been looking at some of those that run Linux as opposed to Android and having a think about moving my embryonic OS over to them. Right, okay, so Exeldro says Markdown source, 3D effect and media controls. Let's go and do this now. There we go. Let's go and do this right now. So it was, that's Exeldro, hello. Markdown, OBS Markdown. Let's go and find that. Ah, there we go. 3D effect and media controls. There we go. That's exactly what we're looking for. So we have now got a 0.22 that we can reference for OBS Markdown, which actually may not be packaged for NixOS. Let's have a look. Packages, OBS Studio. It's not. So first thing we can do is we can package that one for Nix packages. If we then look at the others, which were 3D effect, that is in there. So let's go and open that one up. Paste that. So 0.2 for 3D effect. Aha, yes, I remember this one got revved. Okay, let's go and grab that now. Whoop. And I can do the same in my Ubuntu build. Okay, that's 3D effect. And then media controls, which is definitely in Ubuntu. That's 0.40. Media controls 0.4.0, and I don't know if that's packaged in NixOS, so let's go and see. And if it's not, it's not. So there's two of your plugins I can actually add to NixOS. Markdown requires browser source. It does work on Linux. Yep, I've got that packaged on Ubuntu. I don't have it in NixOS, so I will do them now. Let's go and add all of those. We're going to do browser source. Let's get these all done. So let's come back here to Markdown. Markdown. Open new and browser source. So there's a dependency, is there, on browsers? Requires browser source. Yeah, browser source. Sorry, I'm being dim. I thought you meant browser transition. Yeah, browser source works in Linux. It's a little bit. It's a long story. It works is the short answer, by some means. Right, okay. Browser source. Yeah, browser source is working just fine. In fact, you know, there's evidence of it here, the chat that you can see. So that's fine. Let's go and do these things. So OBS Markdown has now got a 0.22, which, do I have that in here by a version? I don't. So let's change that to 0.2.2. These are all changes I'll make in Ubuntu later. I'll just get them typed up now. And let's do this. Let's start with OBS Markdown. Let's think. OBS Move is probably the good one everyone knows. So let's do OBS Studio, plugins, OBS Markdown. Well, we do need to do default and OBS Markdown. Okay. Change that to OBS Markdown. Was it 0.2.2, I think? Markdown. Drop the hash for now. That's going to be Markdown, so let's put reflection.org because this is a new plugin. Markdown. Right then. Yeah, have I? Oh yes, you're right. Sorry, Exeldro, good spot. Right, let's go and grab the description. Let's go and drop this in here. And let's add the default listing. One of these is the correct default. Yes. OBS. This is... that should go there then. Let's do that. Right, let's see if Let's think. We just need to add that so that the flake can see it. Add the markdown. Let's do a build. And then I think I missed some messages in chat earlier, so OBS markdown. See how this goes. Oh yeah, we need the new hash. Okay. Right, I see there's been some comments. I'll get to that. That seems to have built, so let's just take a look at the path. That is all correct. There's our first one. Yeah. So micro.factory says that that the YouTube chat traffic is missing from your chat amalgamation. Yes, it wasn't 2 days ago. I was using Botrix to bring everything together, and that is completely busted today. Does not work at all. So I turned it off, and I think partway through the stream, part of it started working. So I'm using Restream's chat overlay, and it is not doing the right thing. So hello everyone there on that there YouTube. Hello Big Pod, Ed, Chris, hello, and Graham. Sorry you're not being presented in the chat overlay here. Botrix is busted today. It's very disappointing. But yeah, you're well spotted. Right then. Let's see. Right. So we should now be able to add that markdown plugin to my collection of stuff. So many here. So many of these here. We'll add OBS markdown here. We'll do a build the host OS and switch it in. It's not a proper stream if you're not looking things up in the browser. What, you like to see tips and tricks and things to go and research? Is that what you're suggesting? Right, so that is adding that markdown plugin, and go on. Why does the man page thing seems to take an extraordinary amount of time? There we go. So that's that. Let's do an upgrade. I really need to do something about that MD admin thing. I can't be bothered. I never use that monitoring tool. Right, okay. Oh, that did a couple of things for us. That upgraded 3D. That shouldn't have worked. That 3D effect should not have worked because I haven't updated the hash, surely. Okay. Well, OBS markdown should be there, so let's run OBS and oh gosh, I'd forgotten we'd done this. So let's add markdown. There we go. Add some stuff, and we'll say and then we could maybe do that. There we go. Oh. And there's some markdown, all working just fine. Excellent. So we'll quit that and we'll get that one committed. What are we doing here? Doink. Go to Git Kraken. Let's get this all in. So Markdown, yes. The default entry for that, yes. This I'm going to come back to. And this is correct. So those three changes are... We added that, didn't we? Add Markdown 0.2.2 plugin. Go. Push that up. Right. 3D effect. So let's get rid of that tab. We don't need that open anymore. We don't need the overlays. We shouldn't need the overlays for anything else. So I'll close that down. I'll just tidy up. So we were doing this. So build out of tree on. Let's just go and check. So right. Thank you, Exeldro. All right, then. I will move on to one of the others that we discussed. Let's take a look. What have we got here? We've just done Markdown. And now we're going to do 3D effect is fine. Oh. I think we should be able to... I can't remember what I did, so I'll just do this. Let's do that, and do a build. What's the name of the plugin? 3D effect. Yeah. So let's get that done. We'll get the current hash. There we go. I don't know if that changed or not. That's fine. Oh, I packaged this originally. That's curious. Right. Let's build it again. Make sure we're fine. There we go. Free the result. That's everything in the right place. Are there any shaders in the 3D effect plugin, Exeldro? Let's take a quick look. Nothing there. Okay, cool. That's great. That looks good then. Wonderful. Right then. Let's go and get that one in. So I must have had that in my list because I know I use it. So it's there. It's there. Okay. So let's do a... build the host and just make sure that there's nothing changing there. Cool. There's such a lot to catch up on. This will be good. This will be good. Right. So that's clearly doing an update. That's great. So what was next up? This, come on, man, pages go. Okay, let's do an OS upgrade. And then we can get that one in. I think I've probably still got maybe a dozen of your plugins to do for NixOS. I prioritize the ones I'm actively using, but there's a whole a whole load of them I've not got to yet. Right, that's golden. Let's stage that. Uh, 0.1.0. Nice. And it's the wrong thing entirely. Let's do this. So that's 3D effect done. Media controls is 0.4, and I don't think we have that at all. So let's get that packaged on Nix. We can do the same dance. Is it hyphenated? Yes. Let's add that. Edit this one, change the name. Was it 0.4.0? Yeah. The hash will need wiping out. Change the... I'm going to have to get my colleagues to merge all of this stuff, I think. There's going to be so many of them. I don't want to... Right, let's go and get the description. Copy that one. Where do we put that? In here. Okay, let's just think.
Thank you for the follow, Mandragorax.
Hello, Mandragorax. Wow, that's a cool name. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. Hey, Big Pod, how you doing? You might take a look at NixOS again sometime soon, but I don't expect any better outcome. What was not right with the outcome last time? Right then, let's think. We've got media controls in. We need to build it. Attempt to build it. I think that's the point we're at now. Media controls. Oh, did I forget to add it to the default list? I did, didn't I? Here is what we're missing. Let's get a build going. Let's see. That should go. Yeah, let's have the new hash. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah. Right. Let's go. So, Big Pot says, me and NixOS don't go well together. Really, it was okay for basic usage, but infuriated me once I started doing advanced stuff. That's interesting. Ah, okay, so I know what we need to do here. I found that doing advanced stuff is way easier with NixOS. Keep this. And I wonder if that's enough. I might need to pass it CMake flag to do cute. What have I just done? Just broken something horribly. Yeah, here we go. I've been here before. I recognize this. I think I need to do that, and then here do that. Let's see if that grabs it. Right, yes, we do need to set that as well. Yeah, because this is UI stuff, isn't it? If Exeldro's still there, otherwise I'm talking to myself. So yeah, we don't want to wrap it because it is, yeah. I may need to turn on a couple of CMake flags. Don't wrap cute apps. Have I put that in the wrong place? I put that in the wrong place. Got the backwards. Oh, it's a double negative. Silly boy. Right, let's try that again. Okay. Let's just see. Well, that looks encouraging. What did it do up here? Okay, are we missing anything? It found it. Okay, good. All fine. Okay. Tree the result. Okay, that is tickety boo. So if I now drop in here, 3D effect we're done with. I need to put that back here so I can find it more easily. Media controls. Oh, that's not right. Build host. There we go. So FHS non-compliance can really ruin your day if you don't expect it. Yeah, I suppose I have the benefit of I worked on snaps for such a long time, and I got well accustomed to that. You know, don't rely. Oh, hello. What have I done here? Ah, interesting. So why is that failed on this one but not on the other build? I can fix this. I know what I'm supposed to do, I think. I think we need a CMake flag in this, which is yeah, I think so. It doesn't bother me that. I've just been spent 5 years working on app isolation. I suppose it's just that's not something I consider. It's more learning. It's the Nix language I struggle with more than anything. Hello Caucasia Lucas, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Right, let's think. Which one have I done this in recently? OBS Studio. It was, what were we working on last time? It was multi RTMP. I think that was the one. Here we go. Well, let's have the whole thing, shall we? We don't need that. But what we might require is that. Let's just see if that still builds. Oh, hang on. I said it didn't recognize that. Manually specified were not used by the project. Why is this being awkward? This is clearly built here. Why is it not building in the context of the whole system? Right. What do you mean it doesn't translate well in practice? What have I done here? I have broken things. Is this... I think this is something else. I think I know what's going on here. I think this is failing due to a warning being raised as an error. Yes, that's exactly what it is. All warnings are being treated as errors. So we can get rid of the deprecated declarations thing. Okay. Right, let's go and deal with this. I don't think we need to do any of that. But what we do need to do... what did we work on? We worked around this. It was one of finite singularities ones. Was it glow? Yes, here we go. Okay. Don't need that. Media controls. Do that, and it's not going to be this. It's going to be deprecated declarations. Okay, let's try that. Don't need two sets of quotes there. Okay, save, save, save.
Thank you for the follow, Seba _.
Hello, Seba. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, this is happening all over since the upstream OBS have configured their stuff to raise warnings as errors. There's a bunch of plugins that have got some minor things here or there that trigger a warning and then fail. So yeah, it's just, you know, giving people time to catch up, isn't it? Right, where was I? Doing this, I think. Let's see if this works. I should have probably done a local build, but okay, this will tell me whether it works or not. Okay, there we go. That's looking a bit more like it, isn't it? No, it's not. Damn it.
Thank you for the follow, Y0 Room.
Hello. Thank you very much for the follow there. Is that Yaroon? Is that how I'm supposed to pronounce that? Why did that fail? Surely I did the right thing there. What did I type wrong? Okay, Let's think about this. The other way we tried to fix this was just tell it to not treat any compiler warnings as errors. So let's give that a whirl. Let's just comment those two out for now. Do this. Hang on a minute. Why did it being a silly boy? No, that's right. Okay, well, let's try that as an option. Go. So, Microdot says multiple system, same config. Yeah, there are lots of killer features for Nix. I just can't imagine going back now. Soon, oh, man, what the heck? Why is this being awkward like this? We know we can turn this off. Why is it refusing? Why is that a problem, Big Pod? You're just describing how it works. It's not. Being composed at runtime is a killer feature. I can build an image here for my server there and then push that to the running server. It's amazing. RJ, I was going to try and play with NixOS using 0 to Nix, but it goes right from running an application to development environments. Literally wanted to find out how to install something. Yeah, I'm thinking of working on something like that. RJ. Hello, Camille. How you doing? Thanks for the follow. Right. Well, we've tried all the previous solutions, and it's not working in this case. And I don't know why. No deprecated. You think so? Okay. Let's try that then. Oh, okay. You think it's gonna be that? Okay. I got that right. Okay, let's try. Composition of build time. Why is that superior? I don't understand. I don't think that's superior. Yeah, I've tried that too. Oh, man. This is one of those situations where you get frustrated at CMake, and actually what you're really frustrated with is your own lack of knowledge about CMake. Yeah. No, you're right, Exeldro. I've been here before with this stuff. So actually, if I go and look at the Ubuntu build script, which is here, no, it's not. It's here. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, there was that calm deprecation as well. Maybe I should give that a go. I'll show you the other thing I've been doing in the Ubuntu builds. Where are we going? We're going to going here and editing a different file. Let's just try this for giggles, since I haven't actually tried this on this one yet. Satan Slurpee. I may not be smart enough, but I do love that Linux allows you so many different ways of getting something done. Indeed. Indeed. It's got a Linux kernel, but it's not like any other Linux. There we go. We might be in business here. No. Damn it. King Egypt, I know, right? I don't know. It just CMake changes so frequently that you can't hold anything you knew about how you used it last time to be true this time you're doing something. Right, where was I going? I was going to go and look at the Ubuntu build, which puts a bunch of these tries to disable a bunch of these deprecation warnings. So how do we do this? It's in here somewhere. The first thing it does is, I'm sure up here somewhere there's a, is it just a generic thing? Oh, here we go. So we grep for front end add doc. And then we add that to suppress those warnings. But we tried that and it didn't work. Yawn. Okay, let's add this into the mix. Which is not the way to do it, right? Like so. There's a whole bunch of these we can turn on. Like there's I think that was another. Let's try again. It's curious that it's failing when it's building on the sys. Oh, I know why this is failing. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. This is all my mistake, I think. I think this is my mistake. Oh no, maybe it isn't. Let's just run media controls to a local build. That definitely built, didn't it? There's no errors being raised there. That built. So why then? G setting schemas, that's curious. Oh god, the Atari ST was not the best. You're starting playground fights from the past there. Well, this is using Ninja. It should be, at least. I'm pretty sure. Well, this is a thinker, isn't it? What have I overlooked? We've got media controls added here. We've got it being called in the index of plugins, so it's known to the system. And we've got a build that works locally. If I just build the plugin, but as soon as I try and incorporate it into whole host, it falls over, which is very odd. Well, let's throw everything at it. Let's add that back in. Let's do this with C++. Let's do what else have I got? What else have I got that I can do to try and bend this? We're adding that one, aren't we? Oh, I know what it was. It was, who was it suggested? Microdot Factory. We'll lob this into the mix as well. Just because. See, this was exactly where we got to the other evening with multi-RTMP plugin. Exactly here. It has many, many compiler warnings. And I couldn't get it to play. Oh, I wonder if we need to do... I've got an idea. I've got an idea. Let's grab that. Drop that in for funsies as well. If we can get a build going, then we can start figuring out what we don't need. That might help. Right, so let's just switch the host, not switch the host, build. Let's try this. Oh my god, it's descended into operating systems from the dim and distant past. First computers, oh, Windows 95, crikey. macOS 7.1. No. I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. When I switched to Linux, I switched from OS 2. Well, what the heck? Unrecognized. Oh, it didn't like that. Okay, let's get rid of that then. Am I holding this wrong? Am I supposed to just do that? Let's try. Was it OS 2 Warp? I think it may have been by that point. Yeah, it was. It was OS 2. I'd been using OS 2 2.1 and 2.2. And I had OS 2 Warp, and the reason I had OS 2 Warp was two reasons. One, a friend of my dad's worked at IBM and gifted me a copy. And I think I had because if you remember, OS 2 Warp had the hard-coded dial-up TCP/IP to only work with their IBM.NET service. So that's how I was connecting to the internet at the time. So when I switched to Linux, I also switched to Daemon Internet. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They did make it easy. OS 2 was easy to get going. Oh, okay. You're getting good advice here. That compile warning. I think let's try it then. We'll try anything right now. I'm a bit confused by why this is even happening. I'm just going to keep adding all of them. Like, We'll put all of the overrides in. So you think that it might be that. Let's think. Have we got a preset in the... Let's go and have a look at the project a second. This is the one we're doing, right? Yeah, we've done the out of tree thing. Yeah, that's fine. There's nothing special about any of that. Okay. Well, let's go again. I'll try any of these random ideas. I mean, this is very reminiscent of the other. No. Oh, that looks different though. That output looks different. Oh, it didn't like it. Yeah. Has anyone built a Linux that... Oh, that's a good idea. Pengu. Has anyone built a Linux that caters directly to streamers? No, not that I'm aware of. I mean, I've built builds of OBS Studio for Linux, or many Linuxes, that are for streamers, which come preloaded with all the gubbins. Hang on a minute, what you're saying? I'll just undo what I just made. Add line 26. What? No, I'm not getting what you're telling me there, Microdot Factory. I'm paying close attention to the chat, but I'm not grokking what you're explaining there. Oh. I think you might be saying. Something like that. Line. Oh, okay, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, well, we've tried. I think I'm just gonna stop trying with this one for the moment. Because there are other ones to get packaged up. So what can I do to not upset myself? I can just remove it from my host configuration. Move it from here. And it's very odd. It builds. It bloody builds. Why in the host config does it not build? And that'll come to me later, I'm sure. Can you add the decompile CMake option globally to anything OBS related? Probably via a derivation, but I don't think that's wise. It's irritating when you come up against this, but it's there for a good reason, which is to encourage, mostly there to encourage the OBS developers, OBS Studio developers, to make sure that the code compiles cleanly without warnings. But of course, the plugin developers move at a different cadence. So some of those changes mean that it puts a undue expectation on plugin developers to sort of always be in lockstep with the upstream changes, and you can't always expect that. Hello there, Forgotten Magnetic Snake. How are you? Good morning. Is it still morning? It is still morning, just. In fact, you know, it's time for a drink. I'm a bit thirsty. Oh, there we go. Right, I'm just going to park this one and we'll move on to the next one. So let's go to the browser. We were working on this one and we had some difficulties. So we did Markdown, didn't we? Yeah, we definitely did that and it was working. I'm just scrolling back up. Did I miss one of the plugins we discussed, Exeldro, if you're still here? I think that was it. I think we've got them all. Got the new ones at least. If not, let me know and I'll check the output again. Okay. Yeah. I know. I have seen this before, which is why I'm confused. Right then. Well, I think we'll just park it for the moment. I don't understand why it's throwing an error here, though. That seems really weird to me. I'll go and have a walk and a think later. It might come to me. Right. There is another plugin that I want to get done, which is the URL source plugin, which could present some of the same conundrums. So let's close down what we're not going to be touching to clear our heads. See, this definitely worked for this one. Why? My brain is refusing to let this go, but I'm going to move on. Don't save because we didn't make any changes. Okay, let's do this. We're going to do a we're going to create a new one called URL source, and I think it's URL source like that. URL source. So let's copy. I didn't want to do that. Copy. Not move transition, but OBS. So this plugin comes from an author that is now using the standard template. I'm going to have a go at basing this off one of mine. And we'll see how we go. OBS Studio, plugins, and OBS URL source. So this is it, and it's going to be OBS URL source. No idea what the version number is. We're going to have to look at it. Will you participate in the Twitch beta thingy? Is that a question for me? Forgotten Magnetic Snake. Is that NVIDIA only? Don't know. So I'm aware of what this is. This is the AV1 beta, I think you're referring to, and also, isn't it multi-streaming coding? So the streamer can provide the different bitrate and resolution streams for the consumers. It's my basic understanding. I'd like to. I don't know if a tin pot little streamer like me would qualify for such a thing. but I will have a look and see if it's something you can apply to participate for. If you've got links, please let me know. And one of the other things I want to have a go at with this Nix build of OBS is instead of just using FFmpeg as it's packaged in Nix packages, I want to create an FFmpeg that is purpose-built for OBS Studio. And that means turning off some stuff it simply doesn't need. But more importantly is the FFmpeg that's bundled with Windows in the release version of OBS Studio. They have a bunch of patches in order to enable the AV1 coding, among other things. And I want to cherry pick those and make a as upstream prefer it FFmpeg. Because until I do that, I couldn't do the AV1. I don't think I can do the AV1 thing. So I want to have a go at that. How hard could it be? It could be, Takov. I did wonder that. I mean, it's not an unreasonable idea, because if you do it with AV1, mind you, I still don't know what the overhead for AV1 is, you know, in real streaming scenarios, so we'll see. Yeah, Satan Slurpee, I'm trying to move away from NVIDIA as well. This stream is currently being encoded on Radeon, using AMD's encoder with some tweaks to try and make it less awful. It's not as good as the NVIDIA encoder for sure, but it's good enough. But you know, if you don't use and work on these things, then right, okay, this is the one I forgot. Okay, what do we got here? And the encoder uses Lucy says or asks, and the encoder uses VA API, right? For AMD. This one I'm using does. I wonder if I can bring it on screen. Let me see. I can. I can't change it, but I can at least display it. So this is how I am currently configuring my streaming configuration, and this is the weird bit. So Kabak is fine. That's just the entropy piece, which can make a big difference. The weird thing is quality equals 5. For reasons I don't understand, the AMD encoder implementation uses the quality settings inverted from every VA API. So it defaults to 1, which is usually best quality. But in AMD's implementation, it's worst quality. I don't know why that is. It's utterly backwards. So this is the VA API thing, and yep. And this is how to get decent results. Also, you have to use the high profile because that turns on capabilities in the encoder. Technically level 4.0 would be fine, but 4.2 also ensures bitrate caps, well, not caps, bitrate capabilities in the encoder are sufficient. And because I'm a dirty little cheater, I always stream to Twitch at 7200 or 7600 kbits, because when you add the audio on top, that keeps you comfortably under the 8 kbit limit, where if Twitch see that you're routinely streaming at 8 kbits or over, they'll kill your stream. So, well, technically, yes, Lucy, it can be fixed in the open source drivers because I figured this out by looking at the Mesa source code. But this code was contributed by an AMD developer, and the inverted configuration was defended in the PR that I read. So it was done for a reason. I'm not even going to try and pretend that I understand the rationale, but it was deliberate. Yeah. So there we go. And there is much gnashing of teeth by other Mesa developers at how this is implemented. Yeah, I'm not going to go looking now because I'd have to use my other browser, and I don't put that one on stream. Don't break user spaces. No, it's not a kernel thing. It's I'm pretty sure it was all in Mesa. I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty sure it was. Was it, or maybe was some of it in FFmpeg? No, I think it was all in Mesa. But I might be wrong about that. There may be something to FFmpeg as well. So anyway, that's how I'm currently doing the configuration. But I do have still the daughter card in this, the NVIDIA T1000. And I may switch back to NVIDIA for H.264 until I get to AV1. Right, let's go and look at the URL source on this there. Oh, come on, brain. So we'll come back to Excel. Here it is. Let's take a look. So we're going to need to do the system plugins for that. Okay. What is the version number? 0.2.5. Let's just check if it's prefixed with a V or not. It is not. Okay. So where does this one come from? I think, isn't it OCC AI? Is that where it is now? OCC AI, yeah. Let's drop the one of those. We're probably going to want some CMake rules for this, so let's get this right. OCC AI and OBS URL source. Thank you for that. And let's get the description right. Okay, that'll do. If I try and build this now, we know that we've got things missing. We know we're going to need let's go to the NixOS and search for and see if this library is available. That's the one, 1.13. And in unstable, it's still 1.13. So let's do that. Copy that and stick that there. Then let's do that and let's bring up this and some CMake flags again. What was this stream about again? Hang on. I could hear the you said T1000. T1000, it's an NVIDIA single slot GPU that I just use for basically an add-in card to do hardware encoding. But it's got CUDA cores. It's sort of it's like the smallest Quadro device you can get. Well, there's the T400, the 600, and the T1000. I have the 1000 in this machine. I have the 600 in the one behind me, and I have a 400 that I fiddle with from time to time. Cheeto Bandito, nice name, says, does this put multiple packages in a single binary output? No. What I'm working on here is Nix packaging, and each package is a discrete thing. So each plugin is just the plugin in the package, but then they can be composed into a single closure, so you can have OBS plus your choice of additional plugins. Yeah, it does make me, yeah, definitely Terminator. Right, so we may need to do that. I really hope we don't need to do that, get into that game again. I've got a horrible feeling we might. But we also need to do the system config stuff. So let's do this in the CMake. Let's grab these. Here we go. We'll do system curl Fuji XML. Ah. Oh, come on, type. Oh, it knows it. Check that out. That was handy. Right then. Let's see. We don't have a hash yet, so let's just try and build this. We need to add OBS URL source. Okay. Let's build oh, come on. Let's do URL source, and we should get, oh dear, that's not good, is it? Oh, I've got a typo. Yes. Let's do that and try again. Okay, well that's a good start. We can at least get the right hash in the thing. Okay. Let's run that build and see what we get. Okay, it didn't like that, so we will need to tell it about Qt 6. And I think that might do it. Give it a go. Oh, I need to turn off the wrapping. Yeah. So, we're in the wrong window. Okay, let's disable this then. And try again. This all feels like we're going to end up in the same position we did with the last one, where it's going to generate a compiler error, ignoring extra path from the... Oh. That's curious. wonder what this is actually doing. It's downloading something. Huh. Oh, Exeldro, I just pushed a change to media controls to remove the warning. But that change does not... that's okay. I can totally work with that and test it. I will get to that in just a mini moment. Thank you, Exeldro. I will go and look at that repo and see if we can do something with that. What is this doing? So it says it's ignored this extra path on the command line, but why? Why did it ignore it? I reckon in here, when it comes back, it will come back after a while, and it's going to give me a whole bunch of couldn't find host errors, because what this is doing is trying to... Here we go. I reckon if we look at the log file for this, this is going to have failed to have reached out to GitHub, and that's because it would be an impure build if it had been allowed to just go and grab random things off the internet. So here we go. This is it. Failing to get stuff from GitHub. Okay, I understand why that's happening. That's fine. I don't understand why this is not being honoured. Do I have to do that maybe? I think it might be what I've done wrong. Right, I'm just going to give that one quick test and then... Ah, there we go. Right, we've got a different set of errors now. Could not find curl. Okay, well that's reasonable. Should we just assume it's called curl? I'm going to have to go and look it up because I don't know. It must be something like that, right? Curl. Is it going to make me choose which version of curl I want? Hang on, come here. Curl minimal. That sounds interesting. Or just curl. We'll just go with curl. There we go. Right, so we've got that in the pass-throughs and in the build inputs. Right, let's give that another go. Okay. Because Exeldro is paying close attention. Oh, I see what this is. This is Lexabort. Okay. That... Oh, man, we're not going to be able to build this because it wants to... okay. I will come back to that. But now what we'll do is we'll go and look at what Exeldro changed in the media controls plugin and grab that by a commit. So let's just click there, media controls, and we have a commit we can refer to. So we'll grab that. And how do I do this? I know it's possible. What we have to do is down here. Ah, there we go. Instead of rev, we do that. And we need to get a new hash. So let's save those things and do media source. Media controls, even. Right, let's get the new One of those. Do a rebuild, and this was working fine before, so we should still have a working thing, which we do. So now we'll put media controls back in my system configuration, which is one of these here. No, oh, I can't find it for Toffee. Here. Let's do that. And do a build host and see what happens. Come on, you know you want to work. This is looking encouraging. Looks like you've aced it, Exeldro. Nice job. Thank you very much for that, by the way. There we go. So if we now switch the OS to that build. There it is, installed on the host, so now we can run OBS. Is this automatically enabled, or is it in... Is it a dock that I need? There it is, media controls. Boink. Where would that have gone? Am I being dim? Oh, I probably don't have any media, do I? Let's add something then. Add a media source. What am I going to do? Let's do Studio. Wimpy's World Assets. It should be a floating window when you add it the first time. I was just thinking I better add something. Let's do a sting. No, let's do checkered flag. That'll do. And loop it. Where is that? Yeah. That's a thing. It's not this stuff, is it? Exeldro? Is this built-in OBS stuff, this here, or is this your gizmo doing its thing? Floating. No, it should be a dock. Okay. Where did it go then? I did have this problem, by the way, that docks were not being displayed. So let's do docks, media controls off, docks, media controls on. Not seeing any errors there. So where's it put it? It's definitely got loaded because we saw the dock item for it. Yeah, now you mention it, I have seen this. I've seen this in its docked form before. But why is it not showing it? What are we missing? The dock's locked? No, they're not. Let's reset the docks. Oh no, I don't want to do that. No, don't do that. Do I want to do that? It shouldn't upset things too much. Nah, maybe I could. Does it show on the other monitor? That's a good question. I'm looking around now for a random window. I've obviously got two OBS instances, but they're on entirely different platforms, so I don't see it hiding anywhere. I'm just looking. Don't see it anywhere. I may not have built it correctly, of course. It could be that I have not built the thing with the front end. Surely it would not appear here if it was built incorrectly. Okay, let's do this. Let's turn it off. Let's turn off that too. And let's reset the docks. Yes. Boink. Oh. That didn't actually do anything, did it? And then let's turn on... There it is. There we go. It works. So something screwy in that configuration, I think. Because I had difficulty adding the multi-RTMP dock earlier as well. But there it is. It's working, so I can definitely tick a box to say I've tested it now. Right, excellent. Exit there. And... let's go URL source, unstage that one. Go here and stage this. Stage that hunk. And I'll discard it from there because I won't need it on that config. Right, so that's the URL source in progress, and this is what should I call this? I should call this something else, shouldn't I? This was an entirely new, wasn't it? So this was add media controls. Zero with new API. That's really for my own benefit. Oh, hang on a minute. We don't want to. Oh, we could add it. We'll just go and squash it after. Let's go and clean it up now. What we don't need is all of this. So I think we can probably get rid of all of that now. So let's go and find out. Let's do a local build, which always worked. Hello Steve, how you doing? This is another Linux streamer here, Exeldro. It was very pleased that you treat us as a first-class citizen. Right then, that worked. So let's do a build the host with those changes and make sure that all those attempts to silence warnings are no longer required. Yeah, I have seen docs be a bit pernickety before, so that seems fine. Switch host. Technically, this shouldn't change very much because it's only build options. So it will rebuild that plugin, I think, just because. Right, okay, I fully expect this to be just fine. There we go. Oh, it removed it because I should have. This should not have done what I did. Because in order to test it properly, I need that back in here. No, that won't do. I need to build it. I started making this mistake the other day as well, getting the names of my own aliases. Right then. This is looking good. That's no change required, so let's go and get that cleaned up version in. We'll just send that over with a bogus commit message. Squish those two together. So it's interesting, Exeldro, you say that you're not... Oh, I can remove the build out of tree as well. Okay, well, let's go and do that. Doink, and let's think. That should be the only test I need to do. Yeah, it's interesting you say that you don't test on Linux because, well, obviously I've been building and using your plugins for, well, since you first started making them, and they've always just worked, or at least they've always worked as well as the other, as well as I can tell they work on Windows, for example. So, yeah, I don't think I've encountered any Linux-specific breakage in your plugins. Occasionally, there was only one bug I ever remember. There was a slight change to the way move transition worked once, but it was affecting everybody. So, yeah, maybe that's testament to the OBS APIs or whatever, but they've always worked. The one that was really interesting to me is I used the shader filter one, which I know you forked it and fixed it up. The original version just didn't work on Linux at all, but your version works fine. Except for some of the shaders themselves, which don't use a shader language that's compatible on Linux. But that's, you know, that's fair enough. You just have to know which ones are using, is it the DirectX shader language or something like that? Something very Windows specific, but there's a handful that do that. Yeah, you test them. So by test, you mean it compiles, is that? Hello, Adam. How you doing? How are you? So let's go back here and... oh, well, actually, let's just do a tree of the results. Oh, that was the whole system, wasn't it? So let's do a Nix build of that. And a tree of the result. Now, everything's in the right place. Okay. What am I doing? Squashing more commits. This one. Okay, well, just give that a bogus thing. We'll squish these two together again. And then we'll tidy up the message. That. And update the message. And then if we look at that, we should just have add it to the index of plugins. And here's a cleaned up. Okay, that definitely looks something like I can send upstream. That's good. Thank you, Exeldro, for your help. HLSL, yeah, is the DirectX version. Yeah, so I think some of the shaders are HLSL. Not that I know a great deal about shader language, but the thing is that the ones that are GLSL, they work. Which is, in fact, I think I might use, is it no, I've forgotten the name. I've forgotten the name of the channel point, but there's one of the channel points that uses it at the moment. There's a bunch that I'm working on that I want to do more with. Right, okay, that's good. So where were we prior to that? Media controls is good. Oh yeah, we were trying to figure out why this... Well, how far did we come along here? There was a couple we haven't got done yet. This is the main one. Because for reasons it's not... Oh, that was it. This one wants to use submodule. So, okay. I think we need to do something along the lines of submodules in there. We need to do this. I don't think this is going to be the entirety of the fix, but we do need that. So let's do a Nix build of, and this one is URL source, isn't it? Oh, what have I busted there? Ah. What's that? Oh, hello, look at that. Okay. What have we got here? Let's see. Is there anything missing in the configure stage? Okay. The source directory. Okay. Okay. What is this then? Why is that not working? Could not find Git or a clone. I've been here before with this Lexable thing. This all feels frustratingly familiar. What did they... I'm sure I reported this bug and it got fixed. So we're done with media controls. I think we did media controls, markdown, 3D effect, right? Those were the ones, yeah. Did I remember to change the hash? That's not the issue. Oh, it will be though, won't it? That's not a bad shout, that actually. Micro.factory. Let's do that, because we have now said to retrieve the submodules, so it should be different. There we go. However, that Lexpor stuff, I don't know that we can override. Yeah, we can't override that, don't think. So, warning, this project. Okay, okay. Why is this? I don't think that's the issue though, is it? It's this external project thing. Could not find Git. Oh. Okay. Alright. Let's try this. I'm not confident this is actually going to help, but we'll try. I feel like this is going to be one of these situations where I need to go away and oh, hello, I think we got a bit further on then, didn't we? Yeah, okay, so we're back at the back where I thought we were going to get to. So where we've got to now is this wants to go out and grab Lexpor via Git. Oh, actually, I've seen something that explains how to do this. I think I know what to do. So the issue here is this. Because Nix builds pure packages, it can't just drag something random from the internet during the build process. Everything has to be available and have a hash before the build process starts. And what this is attempting to do is, during the build process, reach out and go and grab something from GitHub, which is verboten. So it's being stopped from doing that. But I think I understand something that I saw in another package last night, where I think they go and get pre-fetch the dependent parts or the Git projects, and then it's able to run because those have been checked out ahead of time and have got hash signatures and all the rest of them. So I think that's how to fix this particular issue, but I am running out of time. So I think that will be the next thing I work on in the next stream. In fact, the next thing I'll work on in the next streams are that, and maybe I'll start taking a look at FFmpeg, see if we can build a local our own FFmpeg, and also possibly a version of Ceph that is from OBS with the required patches, which is not what we currently have in Nix or Ubuntu. Oh yeah, Ubuntu's fine. The official, yeah, Ubuntu's fine. Right then, but with that, I think it is time to go and see a friend of ours, the Dev Dad, and we'll all head over there and say hello to them. So thank you everyone for coming. It's Wednesday today. I'm definitely going to be back on Friday, either in the morning or the evening. I haven't decided yet. So we will be going to do that thing. Thank you all for coming, and I will see you next time.